Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to talk quite a lot of things. I really don't know where to start. Um, yeah, I guess your first reminder that when you spend 5 minutes talking about Luigi, I want you to spend another 10 minutes learning about what's happening in Syria, and then another 10 minutes learning about what's happening in Palestine right now. So yeah, I just want to make sure that we keep our focuses quite even where possible. Obviously, it's not always possible. That's one of the problems with modern society, is that we don't have enough time to like learn and rebel and like learn what we need to learn. And yeah, I kind of think that's deliberate by the system. Um, but what typically happens is like sensational or more like uh, basically a lot of attention is given to like America and white folks and um, yeah, privileged folks in terms of our attention spans as well, in terms of what we actually learn about. So it's part of why lots of people have ignored what's happened in the Middle East for so long, is because they're racist or Islamophobic or but not even like, it could just be like culturally as well. I mean, we're all oppressive, yeah, um, and like it takes active work, continuous active work to reduce it. Um, but yeah, I think the powers that be, the like oil and military industrial complex and the oil executives, what the fuck are they called? People who are in charge of oil, who are dicks, and the people in power are like, don't want us to know what's going on in like conflict zones where they're basically causing it and like being imperialistic and things. So what I'm trying to say is that we have to actively learn about these things and actively push back against, trying to be distracted by the government trying to distract us, or not give us enough time to learn about Syria and Palestine and work on it and push back against what our government and America and other governments are doing. So yeah, that's what I would say firstly. Another thing I want to talk about is like a little bit of like kindness and love towards yourself about like boycotting, because it's really like, boycotting's fairly simple in terms of like, oh yeah, there's a few places, I'll boycott them, right? But when you learn more and more, you start to realize that more things are really, really immoral that you use, like Spotify, like like what isn't, do you know what I mean? Like what isn't? But obviously some stuff is more immoral than others, right? Amazon. Yeah, so I think when you're boycotting, like just do as well as you can, as much as you can, and like increase it incrementally. So like, we don't watch the BBC anymore because they support genocide, and in their reporting as well, they frame it like, yeah, like awfully and racistly and pro-Zionism all the time. Yeah, BBC is terrible in many respects. It's propaganda, a lot of it. And it's disgusting what they've been doing about the reporting over Palestine and Syria and other areas. Because there's so many things that need to be boycotted, not just for Palestine, but it just in general, like when you learn about what's behind all of the products that we get and everything. It's just, you could argue it's basically everything. You could say it's like immorally produced, or immorally, not everything, but most things, in capitalism and colonialism and so on. Yeah, it means that people are being exploited for a lot of things that we have, or the things that we're giving our money to are going towards like genocides and really. So anyway, what I'm trying to describe is that these things can take time. So it's better for you to just take the time to like really work out what's better. Move your banks to cooperatives, or our banks are with Triodos. So Triodos is like an environmentally friendly bank who puts their money and efforts towards eco-friendly things, right? But these things take time and admin and things like that. So I just want you to be kind to yourself and just remember that this is a marathon. It's not, you're not going to be able to switch your whole like life to being anti-capitalist and anti, just boycotting everything that you need to, because arguably that could be everything, firstly, but secondly, you need to like work out what you need to boycott and what are the alternatives, because there are, and that's one of the things that I found with boycotting, is there's so many alternatives that have actually been more fun. I feel like it's like the universe rewarding me from for boycotting different things. But I've been boycotting Starbucks and McDonald's and yeah, places like that for years anyway because of their support of Israel and genocide. So I'm just kind of adding on top and adding on top and adding on top, and I think people can relate to that. So the reason why I'm talking about this is because I find it so frustrating, like I can't even find any alternatives to Spotify, which when you're doing like radio shows and DJing, like it's quite like you need to have a lot of access to music somehow. So I'm just working that out. I'm sure there is something that will work for what I need and isn't so effed up as Spotify, but it's just taken ages to find. And yeah, same with Amazon. Like it's a bit weird with Amazon because my book is published on Amazon, and that's one of the main ways it's produced. So yeah, so it's gonna be weird because I don't know if I can like fully stop using Amazon because I need to get author books to sell them. But then maybe if I can find another publisher, then I can sort that out. Do you see what I mean? But that's gonna take ages. I don't know. It's just hard. But like, you're doing great, and it's already had a massive impact. So I think we also need to spend some time celebrating and just being very like, well done, we're doing great. We're doing great. We are doing great. I know that the causes are suffering quite a lot, especially at the moment. I think with what's happened in Syria, the Palestine cause has taken a significant hit, because it seems like there's Israel's involvement in that as well. Obviously, it's great that Assad is gone, but yeah, I just think we need to think of the Syrian people and what's best for them. And it makes me so mad that Israel's like potentially, and UK and the US is like, and Russia and other influences as well. Like, it feels like they're about to take away this massive victory for the people, which makes me so mad. There's a lot of interest in like oil in the region and other resources, so oil in the region. So this is part of why there's so much foreign influence. It's quite a complex situation there. So please learn about it. It affects everyone, and yeah, the Syrian people deserve our support, as do the Palestinians, as does every marginalised person in the world.